Hey everybody, it's your girl Siobhan, and thank you for tuning in to another video. In this video, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to actually be discussing some lottery winners for a little while. Some people did it wrong, some people did it right. And in this particular one, we're talking about a lottery winner from 2005 that goes by the name of Brad Duke. He's actually one person that actually did it right. So what we're going to do is go over his story and then take that scenario and use it in everyday situations with everyday pay. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you're actually bringing in, you still have to manage your money the same. What I mean by that is whether you make a little or whether you make a lot, you still have to properly manage that money if you want it to actually be able to work for you in the future. In 2005, he won the lottery when he hit for 220 mil. Now, of course, taxes had to come out of that, and y'all know they take about half, close to half, if not right at half, when you win the lottery. So whatever your winnings is, if you take half off, that's pretty much how much the IRS is going to want to take. Brad Duke was a manager at Gold's Gym. So he came from humble beginnings. He was a regular guy, had a regular job, and he played the lottery. Won for 220 million. So after that, after taxes and everything, 110 million is about where he was at. What did he do with it? Well, the first thing he did was not tell anybody. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of people, the first thing they would do would be to tell everybody, but that can possibly put you in danger. So that was one thing he didn't want to do. He didn't want to tell anyone. So he held on to the information and didn't tell anybody at first. What he was doing by not telling anybody, he also went about his daily routine, just so he could figure out what he wanted to do with the funds that he had, because he already had it in his mind that he wanted to invest this money and that he never wanted to, go broke again. Now, before he won, he was a regular lottery player. He would fantasize about winning the lottery. He would fantasize about what he did, what he would do with the money. Different, just whatever he wanted to whether buy or invest or whatever his hobbies were, he would actually visualize himself doing these things once he won. Duke was a very modest guy. He stayed in his current home. He actually even kept driving his same car. He didn't really change much. Again, like I said, he didn't tell anybody at first. He was just trying to hold on and see what he wanted to do about with the money. What was his options? What options were available? I'm sure he maybe went and actually sought some counsel and got some advice from some people on how to do what it is that he was wanting to do. He had set a goal to build wealth. Lucky for him, he won the lottery, right? But instead of squandering the money away, he actually wanted to invest it in different places. So he hired a good attorney. He hired a corporate business attorney. He hired a publicist and a banker. Even though he did win this money, the man actually kept working until it was just starting to disrupt work. Because people, by this point, knew he was the winner. They would come to his job, ask for autographs, always would come with proposals of things that they would like him to invest in, seeing as he is this newfound millionaire. And he felt like it was just getting too disruptive for the job itself. It was creating too much, chaos at the gym. So he eventually had to quit. During the time of his investing, he invested in oil, he invested in gas, he invested in real estate, and he also invested in low-risk bonds. He also founded a family foundation, and he started that with 1.3 million of his earnings. Since winning, he has literally more than doubled the money that he won. Now, that's still not a little piece of money. That's still a good chunk of money. So he won $220 million. He was well on his way to be able to make some large investments that I'm sure gave him some large returns, seeing as he has more than doubled that money since 2005. Now, that has been, 17 years ago, because it's 2022 now. But in 15 years, you make another 110 mil plus. Sounds like some pretty smart planning to me. What did Brad Duke do? And this is the whole point of this video. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. And that's what Brad was able to show us, how much money he was able to keep. Because he already lived within his means. He stayed with his regular home. He kept his car that was already like 3 or 4 years old. He kept his job, so he kept another income source coming in while he was, making his preparations to invest. He also hired attorneys and a banker and accountants and things so that he could get some wise advice from people that are professional and specialize in those fields. So he sought the advice that he needed to. He set a budget. I don't care if you make a little bit of money or whether you make a lot of money. You still have to set a budget, and I would advise you to stick to that budget, because that is what's going to, again, make sure that your money lasts. Your money's supposed to last longer than you. And if you live in this world for 100 years, that means that your money is supposed to last longer than that 100 years. And you can do it as long as you are, one, managing your money. So setting a budget is the start of that. And primarily it's because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. So you need to find the starting point. And that starting point is to literally take all of the money that you get coming into your household, add that up, and then take all of your expenses and add that up and see where it is, what the percentage is that is going out. Number 2, keep your expenses low. Okay, I want to talk about this a little bit more, because a lot of people think that because it's not a rent or utility, that it's not an expense. Your car note is an expense. Your insurance is an expense. Maintenance is an expense. So those tires, that oil change, that fuel, that is maintaining your vehicle. That is an expense. The washer fluid that you bought, that battery, that starter, the alternator, all that is in the expense column, okay? The clothes you buy for your children, that's an expense. The toys you buy for your children, well, might as well count it as an expense, because some of you are going to buy those toys. So with that being said, it's an expense. Pampers, milk, diapers, those are expenses. Yeah, those subscriptions that you pay for, those are subscriptions. But those are also expenses. Anything, just name anything. Your clothing that you buy every month, that's an expense. Anytime you're giving your money away to someone else or something else and trading for a product or service, and you do it on a pretty consistent basis, it's an expense, okay? So it's more than just rent. It's more than just your utilities. It's everything that you spend money on a consistent basis, right? So that could be your hair. That could be your clothes. That could be your shoes. That could be your things in your home. You want to keep those expenses low. There's different ways that you can do that. You can cut back every week. If you can just look at the things that you are actually using your money for and just start getting rid of those things that you don't really need, or cutting back on those things that you don't necessarily need all the time, you'll actually see a lot more money stay in your pocket. He invested in business. You can invest there's a plethora of things that you can invest in. He chose to invest in business. He saved on taxes by doing that. He saved a lot on taxes, actually, by doing that. And since tax is our largest bill, he actually saved a lot of money. I don't know if he was reimbursed for anything, but he definitely was able to deduct a lot. He created a nonprofit. There are definitely some perks to putting together a nonprofit organization as well as maintaining that nonprofit organization. So that would also financially help him, even though it's also doing something good for the community. He's also benefiting financially from that as well. He set aside a savings. Now, I know probably people like, he won $110 million. What? Why would you set aside a savings? Because the money is supposed to outlive you. It's supposed to outlast you. You're supposed to be able to pass that down to the generations and teach them also how to do that, so that the money can continue to grow, continue to get bigger and bigger, because that is what it's supposed to do. So he set aside a savings just in case his business investments didn't go well, or his investments fail or fall through, or whatever the case may be. So he also set aside a savings, and that's just smart. I don't care how much money you make. Savings is always important. He hired professionals to advise him. Yes, that is one of the main laws of gold. At seeking advice from people who are skilled in that particular industry. You want to go to those people, talk to those people, ask those people that information. Everybody may not be so willing to help, but I promise you, you'll find someone who is more than willing to help and will probably overload your brain with all the information that you can take in about that specific niche. So basically, in a nutshell, he abided by the rules of gold, and he used all of the cures for a lean purse, all 7 cures. He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and I'm gonna encourage you to do the same thing. Doesn't matter where you start. Start now. Start today. Why? Because if you're waiting to start when you get everything in line, when everything falls in place, when all your money is there, when everything's paid up, when everything's caught up, if you're waiting on the perfect day, it's not coming. It's not. If you learn to manage what you have now, I promise you'll have more later. And you'll actually enjoy the experience of learning how to manage your money as it's growing. You'll get the benefit and the effects of being able to watch your savings account grow, to be able to watch your stocks grow, to be able to watch your portfolio, your investment portfolio grow, to get that new car, to get that new house, to get that new credit card, to get the new business, to get those business credit cards, to put smiles on people's faces, to help out the community, to stimulate the economy. There's so many doors that can open up, but you gotta get started today. You gotta get started now. And that's what I'm here for. I help people get started. So if you wanna get started and you're like, I don't really see a way out, but you know what the heck? That's what I'm here for. You can reach me in the description box. All of my information is there. All my social media is there. My email's there. My website is there. If you'd like to book a consultation with me, I'd love to sit down and talk to you and see what it is that you're trying to do. I help people get started. Okay, I help get you started and get you on your way. And once you've gotten into the habit of managing your money properly, getting rid of your debt, adding good credit to your portfolio, and you're ready for those investments, that's when we start seeking the advice of individuals who are to teach. Because I'm not gonna lie, I can trade, but I can't teach it. We wanna get you someone who can actually teach you how to be a skilled trader, or how to be a skilled investor, or how to be skilled in real estate or business, or whatever it is that you're wanting to go into. It could be conservative, it could be more aggressive, but we want to find people who are skilled in that industry, who have experience, and who are able to teach that information to others. So thank you again. Make sure you check out the description box. There's a lot of goodies in there, different ways to add more cash flow to your pocket, some discount savings as well. And then there's also some extra ways to add good information to your credit. So if you're looking for a credit card or anything such as that, there's also information in there on how you can start establishing credit or reestablishing your credit. So check out the description box there. And thank you for tuning in to another video. Peace.